Hello, and welcome to the Showdown. I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson, and of course, I am here with the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Waves. What up, though, fellas?
What up? What up?
That's right. Waves, what up?
What's good?
Okay, all right. I didn't get it. I ain't get nothing out of. Didn't get it. Was good. I ain't know what was good. So yo, anyway, man, this is the Showdown. We are back in the living color and happy to be here. We got a lot to cover tonight. A lot of fantasy shit, and of course, we got a new segment. It's not really new. We're just naming it. Parental discretion is advised. So make sure you tuned in for that because it ought to be interesting. I never know where it's going to go. I know what it's about, but I never know where it's going to take me emotionally. So every now and then I have my rants, and so we decided to just let them be a part of the show. Anyway, on that said, man, Waves, what's happening, man? What's going on?
Oh man, same thing every week. We're gonna start it off with some fantasy football talk. We got a new segment. I'm gonna try it out here with you guys. We're gonna go over some hot takes.
Okay.
And then got our football news of the week and figure
Did you
go
say
ahead
hot
and
cakes? Did you say hot takes or hot cakes? Are we
hot
having
takes.
breakfast for this motherfucker?
I am kind of hungry, but hot takes.
Hot takes, okay, because we all know that
Sugar don't go on grits.
that's like that's
Yeah, it does.
no, it's just we all know. So what else going on, Waves? What else we got?
We're gonna and then when it's all done, perfect way to go ahead and end the show out is let's go ahead and get some parental discretion advisory.
Mm. Okay, it's gonna come before that because
That might not wait that long.
it's not. It's definitely not gonna wait that long. It is fantasy football related, so it's gonna go down. It's gonna happen when it happens. I will give a fair warning. But it is fantasy football related. So you said we're talking some fantasy. Y'all want to do this first?
Oh yeah, let's do that.
Okay, all right. This is going out to all the fantasy football players out there. Let's get this in.
Cheers.
Almost time. Mm. All right, Wade, talk to us. Where we going?
Well, this past weekend we had a draft for Let the Big Dogs Eat.
Oh, big one.
Oh yeah, a lot of interesting moves made. What were you guys' takeaways from it?
Oh no, I had a good draft. I believe. All of us, I believe, had good drafts. So I can't wait for the season to start. Start handing these L's out.
Yeah. So, a couple of my guys, I didn't give them a fair warning. Actually, I wasn't even sure because I don't normally do auto drafts, but I know that they are accustomed to being on a different platform where if they auto draft, it will at least fill out their roster. And then they go back and fill in from there and play that squad. But Sleeper doesn't do that. Sleeper would just grab the next guy in line, even if it doesn't necessarily fill up your whole roster. So they're in the process of filling their rosters, and they're gonna be all right though, because I know they ballers, and I know they didn't just miss the draft because they were slacking. They missed the draft because that's how they draft. But that said, I thought I had a great draft going. I was out though. I was out someplace with some friends. It was my class reunion weekend, so I was at our second event, and I was doing the draft there, and then it kind of the draft was going, and then it just kind of uh, the gathering just kind of ended. People started saying, everybody was like, I'm out, I'm out, I'm out. Next thing you know, I was like, damn, if I don't leave, I'm gonna be the only motherfucker here still doing my draft. So I said, well, I guess I'm out too. So I waited until my pick. I did my last pick, then I jumped in, hoping I would get home before I picked too many players by auto draft. And I got home and I had picked 4 players. And while I had already had a slew of running backs while I was gone on my way home, I picked nothing but running backs. So, so it was cool, but it was cool though because I did get back to catch my last few picks. And I picked up a few players that I still wanted that I was surprised were still on the board, and then I took a couple of those running backs, threw them back into the waiver wire, and picked up a couple of defensive players. And I think I've still got a good squad. I still got a good squad. I was able to really get a good core. I was able to draft all my starters, so I was cool with that in my skill positions. So I was cool with that. I'm cool with my draft.
Yeah, I was satisfied with my draft as well. Uh, I had players I was hoping would last longer, would go right before I would pick them, but there's always a backup plan. And I think I left the draft just exactly where I needed to be.
Yeah, yeah, okay. I mean, and I've been hearing a lot of talk, a
Mhm.
lot of gum bumping going on. So I may as well jump to it. I will first say, parental discretion is advised. If you hide your women and your kids if they are not accustomed to harsher language. But um, it was a lot of talk today, and it was like I got guys, that's a little envious of what we do here. They don't want to call it envy. They want to call it something else. I don't know what they want to call it, but you always got to try to find a reason to say we shouldn't do the show anymore because it's an opportunity for us to talk without somebody else controlling the narrative, nobody cutting us off, nobody trying to make it sound like we're saying something that we ain't saying. So when you can't control the narrative, you want your control freak, you want us to shut the show down, right? For whatever reason. You can't do the show no more. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, and I will. So be it. I don't give a fuck. You don't control the narrative. You don't control when or we stop doing the show or when we do the show. That said, I'm not going there because the only reason he was a part of today's conversation is because of somebody else. Because I'm sitting in this room, I'm listening, I'm sitting there just reading it, and I'm getting ridiculed and somebody coming after me. They ain't even in the league, but they got shit to say to me about the league and how it's being run. You know why? Because BSB is acting like some Broad Street Barbies right now. Y'all straight up bitching way too fucking much. I'm really getting annoyed and I'm tired of hearing all the bullshit. You change the settings. You gotta change the schedule. To change the free agency. Do me a favor and shut the fuck up. God damn, y'all bitch more than SWV. I don't know where this come from. Y'all, it should be B&B because y'all are broads and bitches. Y'all need to shut the. So next thing you know, while I was already annoyed by the bullshit, all the bitching, he's made a complaint about the schedule and talking about claiming somebody's playing each other 5 times, whatever. I don't know if it's true or not because I was going to look at it. But you know what? Then the bitch went out and started posting it into SWFFG. And that's why I got people that ain't in the league coming at me saying the same shit that you was bitching about in a group. So therefore that means you was bitching about it to somebody else. Like that's supposed to change my narrative or change my mind. I just want to be very clear. Now, since that happened, very clear. I'm not changing shit. Deal with it just like we do. You got to deal with it like we got to deal with it. I'm not changing a goddamn thing. What you need to do is shut the fuck up, know your role. I'm the pimp, you the hoe. Take your ass to the corner, sell some pussy, and bring me back my money. Period. Where the goddamn explosion at? Well, you know what? I just ding it on his ass.
Ooh, wee.
Yes, and I'm talking to you, Carlton. And the rest of y'all, change the draft time, change this, that. Shut the fuck up and play the goddamn game. Quit bitching. I'm not changing shit. Since you gonna go bitching to somebody that ain't even in the league and I gotta hear his shit too, fuck you and your crew. We gonna beat y'all ass. And you know I couldn't. It's this shit I can't say on Facebook without getting sent to jail. So I want to say it right here. We gonna beat your ass like you stole something, and I want your friends to see it. Cause fuck you and your crew you came in with, all you broads. Coming with bitching and bitching and bitching and bitching. Stop all the bitching and get ready for this ass whooping. Period. Let these big dogs eat.
All right, with that said, let's take a quick break to cool down.
And we're back.
All right.
We are cool. Everything's cool, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So I got 5 hot takes for you guys. I want to know
Okay.
whether or not you guys agree or disagree. The first one is B. John Robinson will be the number 1 running back at the end of this season.
No, I don't agree.
No, that's gonna be the cold take.
I have to agree. He has an opportunity, but personally, I don't see him making it into the top 5.
Who you say it is? Big Ed?
Oh, I said that's a cold take.
Oh, okay. I thought you named a running back. I was like, wait a minute.
I'm gonna go with Saquon.
Who the fuck is that?
I'm gonna go with Saquon.
Okay, all right. That's good. That's good. I'm going with McCaffrey.
I hate to say it, but I'm gonna go with Dalvin Cook. He has the longest schedule in the league right now.
That's going to be interesting. I don't know. I don't think so. I think he's going to split too many reps to be the top dog.
Oh yeah.
Brees Hall.
Oh yeah. Now the question is, what happens to someone like Michael Carter?
Yeah, that is a good question.
Because it's not like he's a bad running back.
He's not. But at the same time, it's not like Dalvin Cook and Brees Hall can't get injured.
Right.
Yeah. Especially both of them. Damn.
Exactly. So Michael Carter might end up. I expect him to get some run before this year is out.
Oh yeah.
Some significant carries before it's all said and done.
Second hot take I got for you guys. Tua Tagovailoa will sign an extension before Joe Burrow has an opportunity to get an extension.
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes because I do believe that Joe Burrow knows his worth, and I think he's gonna sit back and chill and let the money grow before he go get his. That way, because if he go first, then Tua get to ride off of that coattail and say, okay, I want Joe Burrow money. But so if Joe Burrow, if Tua go first, then Joe Burrow get to do that. So I think it's a game that they can play with Tua's injury history. He better go get the money. Mm-hmm. Whereas Joe Burrow can sit there and say, "Nah, I'm gonna wait to see what kind of money y'all get before I decide what kind of money I deserve." Right. So I think that might be a go.
What about you, bro?
Yeah, I can agree with that because Tua's going to need his guaranteed money first. So he's going to sign his contract quick.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing with Tua. He has all the potential in the world, so he knows it's easy to get that quick money by getting this quick extension going. Whereas the Joe Burrow knows he has the longevity. So he could take his time and then get an even bigger check instead of trying to force it during the season.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker.
Next take. How many takes you got? You got five?
Yep.
Five of them? Okay.
Or this one's gonna be really quick.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson wins NFL MVP.
No.
He's not going to elaborate on it. He's just going to
I'm
say,
gonna elaborate.
No.
okay. All right. He ain't going to elaborate on it at all.
I don't think he will. I think either Pat Mahomes or Joe Burrow is going to win it this year.
I think he's got a very good chance to. I think he's got a good opportunity in front of him. It would be a great time for him to do it. He got the money. They put a lot of weapons around him. The division is tough, but a little down from where we were used to. Seemingly, we don't really know what Cleveland is, and Pittsburgh might surprise you. You can't ever really. Right now, we don't look at Pittsburgh as a powerhouse, but you don't ever really know, do you? You can't really ever say Pittsburgh is out of it. And of course, we know what Cincinnati is. So it's a tough division. I don't know. He's gonna have to show out to win that division. So I'm gonna give it a yes. I'm gonna give it a yes just because. I think it's Pat Mahomes to lose, but I think Lamar gonna give him a run for it, and if he gives enough of a run, then he might get some votes just because people tired of seeing Pat Mahomes.
Yeah, that's true. And I do agree. I think Lamar is going to end up with the MVP. I'm going as far as to say he's going to throw for 4,000 this year. Yeah,
I got a hot take for MVP, a wild card for MVP.
Okay.
What if Justin Fields get the MVP? What about Justin Fields?
Hey, he actually finished ninth in the voting last year. So it's not out the realm of possibility.
If he can put some passing yards with those legs, it's not out the realm of possibility that he shocks the world and gets a nod, or at least get close in the conversation.
He said he's gunning for 4,000 this year. So
if he hits 4,000, he would seriously be in the conversation.
Yeah.
My hot take for MVP would be Kirk Cousins.
So we know he was going to say Kirk Cousins.
Did he say Kirk Cousins?
Yeah,
he said Kirk Cousins.
That would be my hot take. Kirk Cousins for MVP. We know if anybody is going to be MVP, it's probably going to be Justin Jefferson. But I'm saying Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're gonna roll.
Some what you smoking?
We gonna let that ride. I ain't going there with him.
What dispensary did you go to? Because I need to go there.
Yeah, I ain't going to that one.
Next up, Bill Belichick's going to retire after the Patriots have a really bad season this year.
That's interesting. That's interesting. I don't. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Yeah. Bill's one of them type of guys right now where you're gonna have to put him out.
And I think that's more likely than him retiring. But
I've heard he's on the hot
it
seat.
could be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
If he gets put out, does he retire?
I think he will.
Does he get put on that? Does he get put on that hot seat of either you retire or you're fired, or I'll let you retire and save face? If it comes down to that, that's a damn good question, to be honest.
Yeah.
By the way, one more time for the BSB. Okay, go ahead.
Speaking of the BSB, neither the Eagles or the Chiefs will be in the Super Bowl this year.
I'm not gonna buy it. I think either one of them can make it. They could. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be a rematch. One of them, I think one of the two is not gonna be there, but I think there is a very good chance that one of them will. So I'm not. I'm. But you don't always. It don't always happen. You just never know, right?
Right.
Right.
You never know who's gonna get hot. Um, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna. You know what? I changed my vote. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with that hot take. Neither one of them motherfuckers make it. Neither one. Neither one. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with that one because anything can happen, man. It's a tough call. Both are very capable of being there.
Yeah.
Right.
But at the same time, they both have some tough competition that could be there instead of them. The Cowboys look tough. 49ers are back. Um, we don't know what the Lions are yet. We don't know what we don't know who's going to creep up that we don't see. That's going to pop up.
Right.
And the AFC is freaking loaded.
Oh.
Hell yeah. I'm looking at Cincinnati and Buffalo off top.
Baltimore, the
Baltimore.
Jets.
Yeah,
Uh,
Baltimore. That's a threat.
man, that the AFC is loaded, man. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough to come back, but both of them are capable. Both of them are capable, but I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna go with it just because it don't often happen. But anything can happen. So I'm gonna say yeah. Neither one of them make it. What did Big Ed say? Big Ed said they're both going. Big Ed said rematch.
I just spilled a cup of water all by my computer.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I'm shocked. Anyway, what's
While we wait for Big Ed to clean that up,
But no, because I actually see Kansas City making it back.
what about Philly?
So I don't know. Philly's a tough call. Because, like you said, you got the Cowboys, you got the 49ers. Parity starting to catch up in the NFC. So,
Well, not so much, man. It's not. It's really not because I thought the 49ers and the Eagles were a good matchup last year if they would if it wasn't for the fluke injury to Purdy. Um, I mean, they lost 4 quarterbacks last season, and they ended up with no quarterback. So, I think when you change that conversation, you might change that outcome, but not necessarily. I mean, Philly was giving them the business before the injury, so but it was a close game, and it was a tough game until once they didn't have a quarterback, they were one dimensional. It was a no brainer. So it would be interesting to see that play out, but at the same time, Dallas is different. Dallas got a different team this year, but can Dak show up on a big game and not throw it away? We don't know.
I don't know. He's shown his decision making has been kind of suspect lately. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I have to agree. And yeah, I don't think either of those teams will uh end up in the Super Bowl this year.
Ooh.
I think I I honestly I believe the Ravens are going to be repping the AFC.
Mm.
As far as the NFC, like you say, it's up in the air, but something about those Giants feel a little different for me this year.
The Giants. Okay. You think Danny Dimes gonna take him to the Super Bowl?
I don't know about Danny Dimes, but they got Darren Waller and they got Saquon Barkley.
Okay. That's an interesting call. That's a hot take in and of itself. Okay. What's the next one? Was this the last one?
That was the last one of the hot takes.
Oh, I thought you got one more, right?
No, that was 5.
Oh, damn. I thought it was another one.
Well, there
I
is
thought that was 4.
a take here. Jamar Chase gave out his Mount Rushmore for wide receivers.
Okay. I want to hear that.
He's got Calvin Johnson, Antonio
Nice.
Brown,
Wait a
Cooper,
minute. Calvin Johnson and who?
Antonio Brown, Cooper Cup, and Jerry Rice.
That's the second guy that threw Antonio Brown up there. DK had Antonio Brown on his Mount Rushmore. I'm puzzled by that.
They must not have watched Tim Brown.
Michael Irvin for that matter.
Exactly.
So
T.O.
yeah, no shit.
Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, I take Antonio Brown over Ocho.
Okay. But shit, what about like Andre Reed?
Yeah, I
He
still
could be up there. Steve Largent.
Randy
like
Moss.
Steve Largent. I like Steve Largent.
Randy.
Randy Moss. Yeah, no shit. Okay.
Eh,
Okay, we can stop Big Ed from naming people. God damn, can you please put a plug in him? Put a, put a sock in his mouth real quick.
So this makes me wonder though. Who do you guys have for your wide receiver Mount Rushmore?
I think they've been named. I got Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., and Michael Irvin.
I would the only one I would replace for my Mount Rushmore would be T.O. and I'd put Chris Carter there.
Okay, I can respect that. Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, T.O., and Marvin Harrison.
Mhm.
Okay, it's a good list.
Did you guys watch any of the preseason, or at least catch highlights?
A little bit.
I watched a couple of games.
What'd you
I
guys?
watched a little bit of it. Nobody's playing.
No.
I mean, I'm not a person that gets real excited about preseason football, and I know right now if Johnny the mechanic is watching, that's why we're great. I watch, I study, but like I said, I look for the stories to come out after, and I watch a little bit of it. I did watch a little. I had a very busy full weekend, so I didn't get to see as much as I wanted to, but I watched a little bit of it. Anything you took away?
There's a few players out there that I missed that definitely are what they're on my watch list now. They're people I'm gonna keep an eye on over the season because what they're showing so far, just that first week, they have a lot of potential to do something different during as the season goes along. They can easily end up in a flex position.
Okay. All right. Oh, Big Ed, did you take anything away?
The only game that I watched most of the game of was the Bears game. And
Oh, surprise.
well, I did watch some of the San Francisco game too. Trey Lance doesn't look too good right now. But that combination of Justin Fields and DJ Moore looks like it might be able to do something. And the Bears defense that game was outstanding compared to what they were last year.
That's good. So would you trade Trey Lance for Najee Harris? No, I'm just starting. No, don't start. Don't answer. Don't answer that. Leave that alone. So I saw a little bit of the Lions game, and I saw some of the Cowboys game. The person that stood out in the Cowboys game was Deuce Vaughn, better than I thought. I think he's a dark horse. And the guy that stood the two big stories to come out of the Lions game locally was the disappointment in Jameson Williams. People were disappointed in Jameson Williams, so he may have dropped his stock dropped a little, and because he doesn't have good hands. He's a body catcher. He catches the ball with his body, so he can drop some balls. But this dude, Brian Branch, jeez, this motherfucker hits like a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yikes. This dude hits like a Mack truck. Yeah, so that was my takeaways from what I saw, but I saw very little, but I did get a lot of information because I read what's going on, what happened. I look at the stuff that happens after the fact, and I read what happened, and I listen to uh, a lot of a great assortment of takes. I shower to sports talk. I do everything. I get dressed in the mornings to sports talk. I drive to sports talk. I keep it in my ear all the time. So I got a great assortment of takes from the weekend, and that's where I gathered a lot of my information. What is Big Ed doing?
I don't think he knows.
Cleaning up water.
There's a whole lot of water in this motherfucker.
It's a whole lot of money in this motherfucker.
So yeah, that was that was my takeaways from it.
I'm not gonna lie, CJ Stroud definitely does not look like he should be starting this at the beginning of the season. Then
I'll agree with that hot take.
Anthony Richardson, he didn't impress me, but he has been announced. They are definitely having him as their starter, which I'm cool with. And it's the same with Bryce Young. Except for Bryce Young, in my opinion, was more consistent on the field when he was out there, but he's also been confirmed to be this day one starter as well.
Richardson has been announced as day one starter. I believe Bryce Young will be. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but I have no doubt that he will be. And hot take, he'll be MVP year 3.
He has the potential, but we'll see. It really depends on how that Panthers line holds.
How they build how they build around him at this point. That is true. What they do. What?
Oh, he's connecting to audio.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know. I thought he was saying, hold up. Hold up. Hey. Hold up.
Have you guys heard anything about Alex Collins, the former?
I did hear something about the Broad Street. Bitch. Okay, go ahead.
Alex Collins, former running back for the Seahawks and Ravens, had passed away this past week.
Okay.
He's only 28 years old. I don't really recall seeing him play.
Me either.
I was gonna say I've never heard the name, so
I don't know. Me either. So I don't know why that was news, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry he's gone. I'm sorry to hear the news, but there's a humongous story out there, and we're talking about this guy nobody heard of.
Oh, there's a few humongous stories out there, starting with Dalvin Cook.
Dalvin Cook has landed.
We already alluded to it earlier, talking about Michael Carter and Breece Hall and their roles coming up.
Yeah. He's landed with the Jets, right?
Yep. So we'll be out there with A.A. Ron and Garrett Wilson and them.
oh yeah.
So that should be pretty interesting. The Jets might be tough to them out. They're gonna be interesting.
Got arguably one of the best corners in the game.
I will be leery of anybody having to go to New York to face the Jets. I say beware. They loaded, man. They loaded up.
Yeah. One team that should be beware is the Patriots, even though they did sign Zeke.
They did sign Zeke, so Zeke landed too.
And they're saying that he fits their offense more due to how they want to kind of like smash mouth football, or a smash mouth style this season.
Yeah, he's trying to protect the fact that he don't have Tom Brady anymore.
Turn up for what?
Okay. There's a huge story out there that we have not touched.
The Michael Orr story?
The Michael Orr story is enormous. That's the biggest story so far this week.
Absolutely. Well, you want to take over on this one?
No, go right ahead.
All right, so Michael Orr is alleging the Tui family basically made up the story of his adoption, and all of this has been a lie, and they used this lie to get rich. is what he's alleged.
Yeah, and they're using his. They've been using his name, uh, on stuff to that they've been putting his name, using his name to get paid. Now they claim today that they didn't make money off the movie, but they did make money off the book. That's what they're claiming now. That they didn't get paid from the movie either, because he didn't get paid from the movie. He took no. He got no proceeds from the film.
He getting any from the book?
They claim he did.
Okay.
They claim he did, but that's their claim that he's out of line.
Hmm.
But did you hear the latest? Is that now Twitter is going after Sandra Bullock and don't want to take her Oscar away.
That is the dumbest thing.
Oh my God.
It's so stupid to me. First of all, Sandra Bullock has nothing to do with this case. So going after the Hollywood actress and taking their Oscar away for a role that they got paid to play that's like your company going bankrupt because of
Actually,
the interaction that you had.
yeah. Actually, I see it as the opposite is true. If she had you so convinced that she was Miss Tui that you now want to sue her, she earned a fucking Oscar.
Hell yeah.
You earned another one now, just for you believing it this long. Or this,
if you bought into her character that much that you're mad at her about this, that says more about her performance than the Oscar did. So yeah, that's that I thought that was an interesting twist. But this whole story is a twist.
yeah,
Yeah.
So what's your thoughts though? I mean, because even if they're saying the reason they were not able to legally adopt him because of his age, or they had some other reasons. They said they weren't able to legally adopt him, and he was aware of it. But still, even if they didn't, but they did all of this stuff for him. They invested all of this money in him, got him off the street. Do you think it's right for him to go after them right now?
No, I don't. That's you biting the hand that fed you. That's the only way I can look at it. You know, you're biting the hand that fed you.
I really have no opinion on it, to be honest with you. You know, if he feels, I guess it's more the fact that he feels as if his name is being used to make other people money, but that it happens to be that the other people that's making money off of your name are the people who raised you, essentially. So it's a double-edged sword, but I don't know. I'm not putting my nose in this business. I'm interested to see what all comes out, what all findings are, and I just can't wait to see the end result.
See, I think what it is he's out the NFL right now, so he's going broke, and he's getting mad that he ain't got no way to make money right now. Why don't you go out there and tell your story? They're making money telling their story. Make money telling your story. Don't let other people tell your story.
Yeah, and I guess his thing is that it kind of is his story, but at the same time, it does have the air of when the checks stop, right? So the checks stopped coming. You're out the NFL. The checks stopped coming, and now you are looking at them still doing well, whereas you ran through your money and didn't manage it correctly or whatever. That's what it smells like. I don't know that to be a fact, but that's what it smells like. Like you fucked up your money, and now you're mad at them because they didn't fuck up theirs.
And I can see that. I can absolutely see that. And that's why I'm saying I'm indifferent on it. Is I don't know any or all the facts, so I'm not trying to put my nose all up at something I know nothing about.
Yeah, I'm curious what SJ think about it.
That was a little boy, right?
Yes.
Yeah. yeah. only got one last real significant news.
Okay.
It's that this past weekend, DeMar Hamlin has made his on-field return.
Yeah. Yes. That's good stuff there. Hold on. Let's give it some love. Give it some love. Some love for DeMar Hamlin. Came back. That was a very interesting moment because his parents were there too, right? Um, they had to be stressed.
Man.
Yeah. After what they
Yeah.
went through last year.
If it was my son, go get your money. But yeah, I'm not be. I won't be at game one.
Nope.
If I am at game one, I'm probably going to be like this when you come out. I'm gonna be stressed. I'm gonna be nervous, man. We almost saw you die last season.
Right.
Yeah, so that was cool though. What was your thoughts, man? What was your reaction?
For me personally, it was just I've been looking forward to this ever since he was given that medical clearance to come back and play and everything. So it was just a matter of time. And my thing is his own mental state going into this.
Yeah,
That was my biggest concern: is where is he at mentally?
yeah. You're right. You're right.
He's been wearing that uniform and on that field. Well, we know how that ended, so and he definitely knows how that ended. So he mentally in the back of his head, he had to have, yeah, his head had to be going thousands of miles an hour.
Careful about these collisions, right?
Right.
You don't want, and if you're trying to be careful, that opens you up for injury.
Yep.
What was your thoughts, Big Ed?
Just that right there. I was just hoping he's not going to be timid, and that if he's going to play, he's got to play 100 at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and he went out there and did his damn thing.
Yeah. I didn't see it much, but I did see highlights, and I did see, of course, they played it up big on SportsCenter.
Yeah.
So I got to see all of that. So that was interesting, and that was a really big moment for football. I've got before you end it. There's one more thing that came up today that I think is a big deal.
Okay.
And it's not so much pros as much as it is college because they stepped into the pros last year. And they do have some pros coming back. But this year they've also stepped into college and they took some college games. What's your thoughts on Peacock taking football games from the networks that we're used to watching the games on?
I mean, is it the same broadcast? I mean, like, because Peacock is NBC. So, usually you get your Thursday night games on NBC all the time. But is it the same team? I mean, the same broadcast teams or whatever.
But last year you didn't get Thursday night on NBC. You got Thursday night on Peacock.
Well, this because last year I didn't have Peacock and they still came on NBC. Or no, it was Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime.
Yeah,
Sorry.
Amazon
Sunday
Prime.
night. Sunday nights are on NBC.
Yeah, Thursday night was on Amazon Prime, and now Peacock is taking some college games.
I don't mind them taking the college games, but leave my NFL games where I know they are.
I didn't like the Amazon Prime thing, and I'm not a big fan of the Peacock thing.
Right.
I mean, that's. I'm not a big fan of it, and I know not some people it's real easy to flip back from one to the other. For me, it's not. For me, I gotta watch stream. I watch stream other than Netflix. I watch all my stream on my computer, not on my television. So for me, it's not. Yeah, I know. There's some asshole right now saying, "Go buy yourself another television." Well, go buy me. You go buy me another television, or shut the fuck up. I don't want another television. I like my television. So for me, it's a hassle, and because I don't like watching television on my computer. I don't like watching football on my computer. I prefer it on my screen, on my big screen. And I don't have Peacock nor Amazon Prime on my big screen.
Right.
So that's my issue with it. And they're taking some decent games.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They're
NBC
taking some decent games.
Universal is they're gonna go ahead and make sure they get their money's worth.
Yeah.
Speaking of college,
Oh,
what do you guys think about the new realignments?
wow, that's an interesting. Um, I think, I think what, I think what's about to happen is I think the ACC is about to try to snatch up all the scraps left behind by the SEC and the Big Ten, and we'll have three conferences.
Who left the Big Ten?
Nobody left the Big Ten.
Okay. I know.
Scraps
I
of
see what
the
you're
other
talking about now.
conferences
Yeah,
that's left behind.
like the
After the
Pac-12
Big,
and
after the Big Ten and SEC rated those other conferences, and I think the ACC is going to go after the scraps that's left behind, and become the third superpower of a conference, and therefore there would be three. Someone suggested that one other conference will survive, and there will be four conferences, and that would be the four. The winner of those conferences would make up the playoff.
I could see that. That simplifies the college football game a little bit.
Be dope. It would be dope, but those other conferences would really have to step up because the Big Ten and SEC.
Are monsters right now.
It's going to be interesting though. The non-revenue sports, having to travel so much further. I don't know. It's going to be interesting if the money stretches that far.
Right. Yeah, that's one thing that I heard is that it's gonna hurt all the sports that don't play for the big monies.
Yeah,
Like the baseballs
the
and
intramural sports and like
Yep.
gymnastics, volleyball.
Yep.
Who the fuck
Wrestling.
Who the fuck don't pay for them to go to California? So
That's why
that's
they got the big money
basketball
donors.
is going to be basketball is going to be tough when you think about scheduling because they play a lot more games during the week. So you got to play Penn State this week, and then you got to go out to USC a day or two later,
Right.
and then you got to go to Rutgers, and then out to UCLA. Then that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
That's gonna be interesting how they pull that off. The Big Ten is really spread out. I heard a very interesting take though. I can't remember who I heard say it. Like I said, I listen to sports talk, but it was a very interesting take that they feel like the Big Ten and the SEC are setting themselves up to break away from the NCAA. And so, like right now, Jim Harbaugh is still facing some NCAA sanction, or so to speak, or punishment.
Mm-hmm.
Not this season, but they still hold the right to go after him next season. But if the Big Ten and the SEC break from the NCAA, create their own committee, and have their own set of rules, we're governed by the Big Ten / SEC committee, no longer by the NCAA. NCAA would be trash.
Yeah.
We may be looking at if that hot take comes to pass, we may be looking at the end of the NCAA as we know it. I mean, what would they have left? With the way the Big Ten and SEC has blown up, what would they have left if they lose those two conferences?
Right. Nothing.
They ain't got no bite. They ain't got no teeth. That's why they really don't have no bite now. They know they're looking. They know they're facing that possibility. Like, what we gonna do? So that's that's a very interesting thing to play out. I'm okay. I know a lot of people hate it. I don't hate it. I probably will eventually, but right now I don't.
All right. Well, that is all I got for you guys this week, actually.
What?
And next week we got some. We're gonna have a little more to talk about for preseason football. We'll begin to see Patrick Mahomes and some other starters, getting out there and playing. So we'll have
Mahomes played this week.
Who played?
Mahomes.
Oh yeah. And Denver had Russell out there for what, almost for a whole first half.
Yeah,
Sean Payton trying to see what he got, man.
Oh yeah. So
otherwise,
San Fran played Trey Lance one half and then played Sam Darnold the second half.
Yeah.
And it looks like Trey's gonna be number 3.
Yeah.
I think so. I believe so.
Yeah.
Glad I traded his ass. Yo, so that's all we got for this week, man. Thanks y'all for joining us for the showdown. We're out of here like last year, man. I'm your boy OG Tim Wilson. On behalf of the Nasty Boys, Big Ed and Ways, we will catch y'all next week. Thanks for joining us. We out of here. Peace.